when I first thought of the camp.
Yeah, what you expect and stuff.
So when I first came to camp, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect.
Camp Hope Haven is just different. You walk on the campus and you look around, it is so filled with Christ.
So strong, they will not do that, I promise. They will sacrifice. So you have all these different people which are united by the fact that they love kids and they love Christ and they want to make that love known. And so I think that just creates this really exciting dynamic and that makes camp unique. Years ago, I asked, Linda Vaughn what the goal of camp was, and she, said she wanted a safe, fun, Christ-filled experience for the campers.
We have lots of things. We have a huge 90,000-gallon swimming pool. We have a barn filled with lots of fun creatures. We have exciting Bible lessons, a nature trail, a gym with a bouncy house, lots of things that are really fun. So a lot of kids come here and they're timid, they're kind of inside their shells, they're coming from rough backgrounds, difficult families. But when staff open up and they start setting up these things, that gives kids the opportunity to have the time of their life here. And what that looks like is perhaps that pool. A kid who's been terrified of being in the water before has multiple loving counselors say, hey, if you get in, I'll teach you a brand new game called Marco Polo.
I'm Nina and I'm 9 and I'm in cabin 4. We swim and I'm really happy that I get to get from the deep end because I passed the swimming test.
The barn, I got to ride horses, and I got to pet hamsters and bunnies. We talk about why Jesus came to earth, and what he did when he came to earth. If I go to another summer camp, I think this one will be on top. I like everything we do, and it's a really good, fun experience.
And I hope that we never really lose that. And if in the future people are like watching something like this and like, what was Hope Haven like back in the day? I'd hope that they would still be doing it now, hopefully 50 years from now. People, they'll be interviewing some guy that says, it's safe, fun, Christ-filled. And they did that in the early 2000s with this crazy guy named Ben Jacob. And we're still doing that today.
Well, having done it before, there's definitely some excitement. Here are the people I'm going to get to be with. I'm going to get to be around to try to impact for the Lord. Who's going to be in my cabin? Who am I going to be with? Who's going to be my brother? Who can I connect with and try to bring to the Lord?
So, for the most part, I'm super excited for what's about to happen. We're about to have 30 kids, and I was really excited to just of what we were going to do.
Week one, I'm feeling pretty nervous and excited at the same time. Nervous in that you have all this teaching material and it's completely different when it's on paper and then when you're in front of 24 kids.
Okay, so the way that I bring Christ into these kids is I really like to do it through the power of prayer. So anytime they come to see me or they just need someone to talk to, I always talk to them and ask them about like how their day's going, but then I always at the end am like, hey, can I pray with you?
Practically, I think we're just trying to come at it from every different angle. So we're trying to use direct teaching. We're trying to use illustrations. We're trying to use stories. We're trying to use object lessons. We're trying everything we can to be able to illustrate these truths so that it comes alive for the kids and it's not boring.
I remember just able to kind of talk to them about my testimony, what I've been through, and some who deal with anger issues or something like that, and be like, hey, you know, remember what we talked about in James here, and just be able to, like, I struggled with that too, but just had to, you know, call upon the Lord and ask to be changed and ask for Him to help me deal with that problem situation.
It's really about telling kids the truth, which is God loves them and they have a responsibility to fulfill the greatest commandment and love God and respond in faith.
So Camp Hope Haven has been around for about 50 years. It's really awesome, and it's like seeing a lot of growth from the community. It's only been catering from the age ranges of 8 to 12 years old.
Teen, going to a full week-long teen camp was just something that was really exciting for us.
So we'll start out the day with breakfast. We're going straight into the Word. We're doing games. It's basically food, games, more teaching.
And we really had no idea how it would turn out, but we trusted in the Lord and asked that He would just be on every single thing we did, whether it was the teachings, the talks, the fun that we had. And God truly blessed it. Every single person that came to the teen camp said that they were just powerfully affected by it.
My name's Bianca and I'm 13. We've been learning about the Lord and getting close to Him, and we've been playing some cool games like Buddy Buddy. That game was really fun. And we've just been getting to know each other.
We've done like pool and slip and slide, and we've had electives, which is like different choices you can do.
It's kind of like the gift of God is even greater when they're older, because they understand the goodness and how good it is, because they know what evil is. And so when you get older, especially for the teens, we were really focusing on how you live that Christian life. Not just how do you begin it, but how you live it, and it's a lot about discipleship.
The fact that you're allowed to communicate, fellowship, and all your worries really do melt away. I love this place, and I'm probably coming back next year.
A lot of times during the summer, I felt like Peter walking on the water, because people would ask me, how's it going? It's like, I didn't want to look down, because it's just, rarely, honestly, rarely do you plan something and you have this vision, and rarely does it flow so smoothly.
during these ages from 13 to 15, this is the most pivotal stage in our walk with Christ. And like what our goal this week is to really influence them and like show them like what it means to be a Christian as a 15-year-old and like how to pursue that relationship deeper.
I was asking this group of kids, what kind of church backgrounds do you come from? What do you guys think about what we've been studying in Bible class? And one of the little boys I was talking to, he said, well, this is how it is. You see, in this cabin, all of us believe in God except that little boy down there on the end. Levante, he doesn't believe in God. I thought, oh my, I don't know what I've asked there.
This little girl, towards the very end of the rotation, for about 10 minutes just sits there and she's crying. And I point her out to her counselor just to check on her and things like that. And then I talked to her for about a minute after the rotation ended. And it was really funny because like we did mention hell that day, but we didn't mention it that much. We mentioned it probably one time. And she was just really overcome with the thought of hell and that she was a sinner and that she really needed to know Jesus to take her sin from her.
There's a lot of kids who come to camp who are just dealing with a lot of things, and you see that behavior on that surface level. But underneath there is this reason. I remember having a kid, and he's just all week, just a handful. And he's finally at the sheriff's cabin for like the third or fourth time, and I end up talking to him. And I'm just like, buddy, what is the problem? You only got like another day left. You're gonna make it. And he was real quiet for a long time. I'm like, what are you thinking about? And he leans over and he says, they shot him. And I was like, and I was just listening to him. He's like, they shot my dad right there. And he reaches out and he like points to the spot on my forehead.
Because then a few days later, I'm with the same cabin again, and I'm sitting next to this fellow, Levante, and he tells me, you know, Isaac, it's so exciting. This week, I became a Christian. And I thought, what in the world? This was the little kid a few days ago who said he doesn't believe in God, and asked him a little about it. He said, yeah, it was so cool. My counselor told me about Jesus, how he died for me, and we prayed together about this. I'm so excited. And I was really excited, too, to hear what God had done in Levante's life, that he could come, someone who was far from Christ, who didn't want anything to do with God, could walk away at the end of the week and say, wow, I met Jesus, the friend who sticks closer than a brother.
And so that night, after the last evening chapel, she did go back and talk to a counselor, and she prayed to personally know Jesus to save her from her sins. And so I've never seen that happen before, where a child is just there in the rotation breaking down crying. So that was really remarkable.
And if you can get past just trying to fix the kids and fix the situation and really listen to people, that's where it happens, is where you're just quiet and you finally hear what happened. And you know, he's come back to camp for a couple of years, and you know, his behavior is improved. But I think the amazing thing is just camp was there for him in this moment where he's dealing with this really huge thing in his life.
So I basically decided to go grab my Bible and I say, let's go for Romans 1 together. And I go over the passage where it talks about how sin kind of emerges through our lives and how depravity starts. And I explained to him, I was like, you know, God loves us all and everything, and through his sacrifice, he made a way to get back to him and spend eternity with him. And part of that process and journey is accepting God and then repenting of our sins. And later on that day, it was during one of the meals, I was cleaning up a mess and overheard someone ask him, so what are you? And I was very happy to hear him say, I'm a Christian.
feel like the fact that we are able to trust in the Lord to provide for this camp, for these kids to have an amazing experience, to come to know Jesus more, is just extremely powerful. We don't have the most amazing things here, but the unity and the love and the bonds that are created at this camp are just inexplainable.
In Corinthians, Paul says he has chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. And I think the unique thing about Hope Haven is that it shouldn't exist. Every time I go to a conference and someone's like, oh, your camp is free, how does that work? And you try to tell them it's run by donations, and then how many kids we have and the activities and there's pool and horseback riding. They're like, how does that work? And you pay the staff. How does that work? And God has just made it work.
So I think a great place of where the Lord is changing the hearts of kids in Hampton Roads for the sake of his kingdom. It's a beautiful thing. There's nothing greater. There's nothing more important. So yeah.